Hey guys, Mike here. So today's cult classic review is 1965's The Endless Summer, starring Bruce Brown as the narrator. In The Endless Summer, Bruce Brown follows two surfers as they travel around the world catching the summer and trying to find the perfect wave. And so we have The Endless Summer. So guys, this is a movie in this series before watching and reviewing it today. I had not seen it before, nor had I ever heard of this one. And to be honest, I was very surprised to see that a documentary landed on this cult classic film poster. Because honestly, when I think of cult classic movies, I don't immediately think of documentaries. Not that I have anything against documentaries, it's just, you know, they're not exactly a go-to for a cult classic. But in any case, what did I think of The Endless Summer? Well, to be honest, right from the get-go, I knew I wasn't going to enjoy this film because it was all about surfing, which I do not give a crap about. I'm not interested in hearing people talk about surfing, I've never wanted to go surfing, and it's just something I'm really not interested in. And the only reason I watched this movie was because it was on the poster. That's really it. That's the only reason I didn't turn this one off within the first 2 minutes. But at the very least I thought, maybe this might get me interested in surfing. Maybe I might want to find out more about surfing, learn some of the terminologies, and see the great places that they go to. Nope, none of that happened. Honestly, after watching this, I think I'm more turned off from surfing than I've ever been in my entire life. What might have made this film just a little bit more interesting to listen to is if they actually had interviews with people that they actually met, or even interviews with the two main people who were following. But no, the entire film is just Bruce Brown talking throughout the whole thing. And after a while, I just got really sick of hearing his voice, because there was just no break from it. There may have been odd bits and bobs of other dialogue throughout the film, but for about 99% of the film, it's all him talking. And this guy is far from, say, David Attenborough and Morgan Freeman, where their voices make you want to find out more about the world. They've got such good descriptive power, and they've got amazing voices at the end of the day. This guy makes you want to switch off and never listen to a word he says. Granted, the only kind of enjoyment I got out of this was hearing him moan about prices. Saying stuff like, $30 a night at this hotel? That's a rip-off, and I'm like, ooh, geez, mate, the future is going to hit you hard. Comments about inflation are always kind of funny. But I'd say the biggest thing about The Endless Summer, it's not even a particularly amazing documentary either. The content, like I said, wasn't very interesting, but it's not even presented in a very interesting way either. Most of the time it's just static shots of people surfing from far away, but they do actually incorporate a couple of first-person perspective camera shots, so you can actually see what it's like close up when surfing these waves. So I can commend the film for that, but at the end of the day, it's still about surfing, so I just couldn't really appreciate it all that much, because it's really just getting me closer to something I don't care about. So guys, would I consider The Endless Summer a personal cult classic, and would I recommend that you guys should see it? To be honest, I've been quite fair on a lot of films in this series. I can really see how they're cult classics, even if I don't enjoy them all that much. Honestly, I'm lost with this one. I don't know how this documentary made it on to the cult classic poster, because honestly, something had to have been left out for this movie to make the cut. And it says it's must-see cult classic films, but I'm just there like, what's to see about this? The only people this might really attract is people who are interested in surfing, obviously, and as I'm not one of those people, I'm really not interested in anything this movie has to say. As well, some of the locations were quite nice, but I'm not going to watch a whole film just to see some locations. I can see why people would get enjoyment out of this one, but to call it a cult classic movie, honestly, no, that's just something I don't agree with at all. So obviously, I'm not considering this one a personal cult classic for a multitude of reasons. But do I think that you guys should watch this one? Honestly, unless you're really interested to find out what surfing was like back in the 60s, then I can't possibly recommend this film. It's uninteresting, it doesn't really stand out all that much, and I don't know, it's just a documentary about surfing. What more do you want from me? Okay guys, that's my cult classic review of The Endless Summer. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Whatever you think, drop it in the comments below. Until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!